my name is Sarah. I've been practicing calligraphy for about 7 years now, and my friend Nicola Peng from Entropy Ink sent me some nibs to try. Now, these are all vintage nibs, so in the last video, I tried a pointed pen nib sampler from John Yale Books, and those were all modern nibs. I think there may have been one vintage nib in there. I can't quite remember, but these are all vintage, so they're no longer in production, and they're available on Nick's website. I will put it somewhere down here. I'll also link it in the description below. So if you watched the last two videos, you saw that there were some nibs that I liked a lot, and some that I didn't like a lot, and some that were kind of in the middle. This video and following video, there's going to be a part 2, is not the same at all. It sounds like I'm really biased about all of these, but they were all pretty much amazing, except for one that gave me some trouble, but then it didn't. That'll be in part 2 of this review. But yeah, they were all amazing. They wrote really nicely. The thing with vintage nibs is because they're no longer in production, they're really rare, so they're gonna be more expensive. So if you have the budget for vintage nibs, treat yourself, do it, it's great. I really enjoyed writing with these. Of course, Nick gave all of these to me to try for the purposes of a video like this. I might purchase a few of these on my own just because I loved all of these so much. That being said, you don't need to, pour a lot of money into vintage nibs in order to get better calligraphy. It's not going to improve your calligraphy. You still need to practice. These are not, magic pills. You can write just as nice calligraphy with a Hunt 101, Gillot 303, Zebra G even. These are just really nice. Let's get into it. Let's check out these nibs. Let me know, by the way, which one is your favorite as you're watching along in the comments down below, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first nib we're going to start with is this Seminary 541 nib, and it looks to be pretty sturdy, so we'll see if that's the case. So it's kind of stiff, but maybe more of like a medium flex, but really nice. I wasn't expecting to like this, but it's a medium flex, a nice crisp hairline. Seems like it would be a good workhorse nib. Oh no, I hope I don't like all of these. Yeah, wow, that is really, really nice. I like this a lot. Okay, so I know we did a star system last time, so let's just keep with it, and I feel like this gets 5 stars. Okay, moving on to the second nib. Please feel free to roast me in the comments for my pronunciation of this company. Bagnall and Farjan. It's a Bagnall and Farjan incomparable nib, so let's test this out. So it's a little bit far out from the center of the axis of my writing staff. Let's see how this works. Wow. So it's a lot stiffer than I was expecting. Oh no. Again, it's really nice. So like a medium flex, fine hairlines, good shade widths. Yeah, it's nice. The only thing is that it's so far out from, you want the point of your nib to meet the center axis of your staff. So it makes it a little bit awkward to write with, but otherwise, I let the ink dry on it too much, so it's not gonna write now. But otherwise, really, really nice nib. Okay, I've seen a couple people write about this one, the Bagnall and Farjan 803. I'm so self-conscious that I'm pronouncing that extremely incorrectly. Okay, so again, it's a little bit long, but we'll see. So this is another vintage French nib. Medium flex. Really nice hairlines. I like this one a lot as well, so 5 stars again. Next, let's try the Bagnall and Farjan 2436EF. Nick's website says that this specific nib reminds him of the Balanzi 2552, which I'm going to be trying a little bit later on. And a lot of people like the Balanzi 2552, so... So this feels slightly more flexible than these first 3, but maybe a little bit sharper. I like this as well, so it's a little bit more flexible, but not super flexible. Really nice to write with, and it doesn't stick out as far as the other 2, at least I don't think. Okay, next we have the Bagnall and Farjan Plume Kefurser. I like this one a lot. It's more stiff than the first 4 that we tried, but I really like this. It feels like it's, I don't know, like sturdy and delicate at the same time or something. Because it's like pretty sharp, but also you're able to control the shade width pretty easily because it's so stiff. I really like that. I think it's going to get 5 stars as well. Next up is the Balanzi 2552. A lot of calligraphers seem to really like this one. It also, though, is very long, so again, it doesn't align to the center of my staff, so it might be like a little bit awkward to write with. There's an article on IAMPIT that Bob Hurford wrote about readjusting your flange to better fit this nib. And so right off the bat, it's really flexible, sharp, nice hairlines. I think it might be the most flexible out of all of the ones we've tried so far. So that's good to know. Maybe if you're working at a bigger X height and you need a wider shade width. So I feel like I didn't really love writing with it as much as I thought I would. And these stars are pretty arbitrary, so arbitrary 4 stars. Next up is the Henry's Superior. Number 605 Blanzy. One website that I researched said that this is a workhorse nib from the 1950s. Okay, this is very long. Wow, I feel like I feel like I could like impale somebody with this. Oh, okay, this is not as flexible like at all. So this is the least flexible nib we've done so far, or we've tried so far. And I'm putting kind of a lot of pressure on it, which you don't really want to do because you don't want to accidentally break your nib by putting too much pressure on it. But I mean, I still really like it. Oh no! So arbitrary 5 stars to Henry's Superior from Blanzy. When I was looking this up, there's another nib called Henry's Superior, but it's from this other company, Bagnall and Farjan. So not to be confused, but I like that one a lot. Then we have this Bagnall and Farjan Superior Depose nib. There's some wording up here, but I can't really make out exactly what it says. Again, just a theme of really long nibs today. Oh wow, that is a really fine hairline. I was not expecting that. It's also really sharp, and also not very flexible. I mean, it obviously is a flexible nib because we're getting shade, but like, maybe a medium flex, like, but it feels pretty like sturdy and like you're not supposed to get that much shade with it, kind of a thing. Ignore my ugly strokes. Yeah, I like that a lot. Next up, we have another kind of giant nib. It's this Blanzy 172 Montgolfier. And let's see how this goes. Oh no, I really like this one too. So the hairlines are a little bit thicker. I don't mind that. Medium flex. Gosh, really nice to write with. Are all of these vintage nibs gonna be just like awesome? This is why I've never tried vintage nibs, because they're expensive, and you know, as a calligrapher you go through a lot of nibs, and I don't really have the budget for this kind of a thing, but I mean, this is just so nice to write with. I think I'm running out of ink, but wow, I really like this one a lot. Okay, last we have the Blanzy 2500 Sergeant Major. And it's got this really cool reservoir, kind of like the last one where it's just a really long reservoir, but it's got this cool design. Again, it's really long, but we'll see what we can do. I think that this one might be the stiffest of all of the ones out of these 10. But again, still really, really lovely to write with. And there was, on a website when I was researching these nibs, it said that this was Marcel Proust's favorite nib to write with. Also don't know if I'm saying that name right. But yeah, really, really stiff, but holy smokes. Just all of these are like amazing. Like, I get it now. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of these are like 5 stars in my opinion. I just really liked every single one of them. I think the only thing is that you, like, once you try one of these out, you need to probably get some pliers. I'll link the article that Bob Hurford wrote that kind of tells you how to adjust your flange to better fit one of these longer nibs, because other than the fact that they're a little bit long, they are extremely nice to write with. So stay tuned. There's going to be a part 2 to this where I test the remaining 10 nibs that Nick sent to me. So stay tuned for that.